Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried. What the heck is dry cleaning? Seriously, no one knows what it is. Seinfeld once said,
"Dry cleaning is just your finger scraping off dirt."
Anyway, enjoy another Route Bros video about the fascinating world of dry cleaning.
Sales Blitzing the Neighborhood. Welcome to our vlog for this week. I am James Peuster, and Mark Albrecht will be joining me with a pretty awesome crew here in a second. Let's talk about sales. Obviously, everything we do is reflected on whether or not we get customers. We will lose customers. People move, people die, people lose their job, they get divorced. We lose them just because of whatever reason. You always got to fill the funnel. So when we talk about sales, I'm going to talk about three I's. Three I's. Number one, incidental. Incidental sales are the ones where they jump in front of the van. You're walking in a business or a condo, or you just happen to be in a neighborhood and somebody stops by. Incidental sales obviously don't happen too much. They're also accidental. And so if you're counting on incidental sales, well, then you're going to have a lot of issues. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to, well, they're just not going to happen like we wish they did. Back in the day, 20 years ago, yes, people would stop you. I remember a story one time. I was riding with a driver up in New Hampshire, and it was pouring down rain. It was like the fattest raindrops I'd ever seen in my entire life. And this lady came out and she knocked on our window while we were talking, the driver and I, and she signed up for the service in the pouring rain. Those days are gone. It pretty much doesn't happen as much as we wish we did. So if you're counting on incidental or accidental sales, well, they're just not going to happen. So the first I is something that we obviously celebrate. We hope that they happen. And you know what? Be prepared for it. Always have your brochures and marketing pieces right here in front, right in the van, so you're ready in case you get an accidental or incidental sales. When you're walking into businesses, you should always carry your business card or brochures as well. The second I is incremental. This is kind of when we do cherry picks. This is when we kind of look at going on a few good neighbor program sales, or just, you know what, you got a little 30 minutes of extra time, let's go ahead and try to get a couple of customers. You know, incremental sales is very important. It's probably one of the ones that most drivers do the most, whether you're a D2 or you're a D3. You know, when you do this increment, you know, in increments, when you do it step by step, you know, the best bet that you have is always, again, to be prepared. Always have your brochures handy, just like incidental sales. You know, but you also set some certain numbers and certain goals. You know, maybe you say 10 knocks a day, or, you know, the 9 to 5 says 9 face-to-face presentations every single day. If you did that, then yes, you might get some customers too as well. But the third and final one is probably one of the ones that isn't done enough. And it's one that we really kind of get discouraged. It does include sales blitzes, which is today's topic. And that is intentional. The third I, intentional sales, where you intend to sell. Now, it's a little bit more of a step above incremental. Obviously, incidental means, let's say, hey, it's Saturday, we're going on a sales blitz. It's Tuesday afternoon, we're going out, whether we do it solo or with a group. Intentional sales is probably the one where you have that commitment. You are dedicated to the effort. You're dedicated to the growth. And it's scheduled. It's something that you plan on, you get pumped up for. Maybe you create a contest, whether you have a self goal setting moment or you group it. whatever it is, the intentional sales, which includes sales blitzes, is one that is becoming, I'd say, less and less of a factor. There's a lot of things going on. Obviously, routes grow a little bit, and when they grow a little bit, or a lot of it in some of your cases, your sales time starts to diminish, and now you're counting on incremental, and eventually you just count on incidental sales. If you're a manager and owner watching this and your routes are getting full, what happens is it gets to 2 or 3 vans and you're full and you feel like you have no time. The drivers say they have no time. Well, then you're in a position where now you're hoping on a lot of luck. Intentional sales obviously increases your luck, increases your chances, and it gives you that step closer to getting a route to build. That's why we want you to split routes, to find more time for intentional sales. Otherwise, drivers get sucked into hotel runs, or they get sucked into other things that isn't job related. So the bottom line here was we prepare for sales blitz. Sales blitzes, schedule it, find time for it, make sure you have time for it. If you're a driver and your route is maxed out, let Mark, Mike, or I know. We're here to help, because again, you get graded, or you get judged, or you get measured by growth. And if the growth isn't happening, well, then there's a situation. Turn it over to Mark, as he's going to talk to a crew and talk a little bit about their sales blitz plans.
Hey, Route Pro Nation, Mark here. Hey, we're out here on a game day blitz with Crest Cleaners in DC. Hey, just a quick reminder, some really important essentials when you go out there on your blitz. Always have a territory. Make it a zone territory. You don't want to go out there aimlessly without a plan. Number 2, don't forget about your current customers. Your current customers have great other customers around them, so always be focused on who those people are and know who they are when you're out there with a team especially. Number 3, utilize your resources. Redfin, Zillow, all those new neighbors moving in. They're finding new supermarkets, new gas stations, new grocery stores. Let's make sure we hit them up as a team and have a great time, all right? So again, very important on the game day blitz. Everybody have a great one. Hike!
Great job, Mark and crew, as we look at sales blitzes. Crest Cleaners, one of our success stories ongoing. Marlena doing a great job. She'll be at Route Pro Con as we do a shameless plug. We're finishing up with sales blitzes on this vlog. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Appreciate the input you've had and the feedback as well. I'm going to give you 8 tips for my sales blitz success that I've had in the past 20 years. It's 2020 and my 20th year in this industry. Number 1, have contests. You should always have a contest, whether it's in pairs or individuals or teams or whatnot. Have a contest. Set it up so that it's in a way where you know what the contest is going to be. Dinner, paid day off. They have to get each other's clothes, or anything. Have a fun contest. Put it up on the board. A lot of times we see, Starch Madness coming up, or you see Knocktoberfest, stuff like that. That Puritan does a great job continuing on that tradition. You should try that as well, because when you make it interesting and competitive, you get pretty good results. Number 2, have goals. Very similar to a contest. This might, partake to you if you're individual, if it's each a member, or even as a team or as a pair. Set up a goal and have a reward that's gone with this. One of my favorite ones was to do that if they hit their goal on a sales blitz, I would get their clothes ready for them the next week. And that way, again, they could come in, take care of other stuff or get out a little bit later. But have goals, whether it's a sales bonus, whether it's a paid day off or food. One of the best things you can reward people is with this food. Number 3, garage sales. It's still one of my favorites. We deal with a lot of neighborhood garage sales here in Kansas City. I know a lot of places do as well. And when you see that, that's a great time to plan a sales blitz. Why? Because again, it increases route awareness. That van is out there, you're out there, you're able to see who maybe does dry cleaning. A lot of times people don't think about this. When you walk into a garage sale, I can see the hangers they're using. I can see if they're using a competitor. And so again, it gives you an opportunity to maybe, increase your lead generating that you're trying to do, but also increases your sales. I guarantee if you do a garage sale sales blitz, you will see results. Number 4, plan on 2 Saturdays a month. One of the things about sales blitzes is we are in a position where we need to get in front of as much people as possible. A lot of routes are starting to expand a little bit. So I challenge people a lot in 2020 to do 2 sales blitzes a month on Saturdays. A great opportunity to get in front of a lot of people. And again, maybe you piggyback it with my tip with garage sales. Number 5 is to do 2 evenings a month. And, I think it's one of the forgotten times. Back when I first started this, we went out almost every other night. A lot of times what we would do is we would actually start our routes off a little bit later on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but plan on a sales blitz from like 6 to 8 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday night. Forgotten time. I think it's one that a lot of people are just kind of saying, well, it's 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm calling it a day. But I know a lot of you guys out there that are still doing evening blitzes are having success. So 2 a month's all I'm asking. Maybe 1 a week would be even better, but 2 a month, and again, you will get results. Number 6, flip-flop areas if you're doing 2 or more sales blitzes. And what I mean by that is you might start in Route 1 and then go back to Route 2, whether you do it in the same day or you take turns, especially when you're pairing up. If you have 2 drivers, go to one area and let them build off each other. And then the next time, go to another area. This way, again, you're hitting more neighborhoods. You're hitting them still together as a sales blitz. And again, I think most of us know that when there's a kind of build a buddy with you, where you got somebody out there to share the celebration or to kind of encourage you or just to have fun and tell each other stories, then again, that's why I like flip-flopping areas. Number 7, the new stores opening up. A lot of times we see new stores opening up, and what we used to do in Kansas City, we'd circle the wagons. We would sit there and say, all hands on deck. In fact, if there was a new store opening up, we would say for the next 3 months, every sales blitz was going to be concentrated around that area. And it was very successful. If you Google search Kansas City and look at dry cleaners and you look north of the Missouri River, Gladstone, Liberty, Parkville, all this, you won't find a lot of dry cleaning because, back in the day, we knocked them all out and not a lot of them ever rebuilt. And finally, one that's probably more common is store closing. If you see a store that's closing, that's Sales Blitz 101. And even park your van in that parking lot, but also go around in that area where you know the best customers were going to that store. They're lost. They're in the wilderness, and we're out there to gather the sheep and bring them home. And so that's an opportunity of a lifetime if you see a store closing. Again, don't forget the 3 I's, incidental, incremental, and intentional. And don't forget, happy selling. Thank you.